Good morning, beloveds. I'm going to have a short day at work and a long day at my cousin is in the state. I can't say he's in town because he's in state. I live in Texas. So we're going to meet in between, which is a 2-hour drive. So I have a short day at work. I work 10 to 2 today. And then we're going to leave from work to, meet in the middle. But we found a German place, so we're going to go have German food, which is really cool because, we're German, of German descent. My mother's maiden name, I couldn't spell it until I was in high school. And if you ask me to spell my grandmother's maiden name, I'm not sure that I could do it, but here we are. All right. We are doing your spiritual power, so let's do the housekeeping really quickly. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That will get you one email a week unless something unusual happens. We do live in hurricane country, although we've got less than a week left of hurricane season, so thank goodness. The email tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So if it says click here now, it means it. Also, it's a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email because of us. Last thing, and I'll just mention it briefly, is the social media, simply because we do not monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to engage with the pages. Like, subscribe, follow based on which platform it is, and then engage with the individual posts by reacting to the post, commenting on the post, sharing the posts. I don't know what I was about to say there. There we go. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, depending on which platform, and I am the running Rev Ryan across all of the platforms that I am on. Okay, so this wonderful little library is a collection of Ernest Holmes works, some of the works that may not be found anywhere else. We happen to be doing Living Without Fear right now, and the cool thing about Living Without Fear and Discover a Richer Life, which is the one we just did from here, they're collections of Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind articles, which for a long time weren't available anywhere else. So somebody was like, hey, let's get some of these together and put them in a collection. I will tell you that they are now available if you join the Science of Mind archives in their membership, because Reverend Kathy, hunted them all down. I don't know if she's got all of them, but she's got a majority of the run of the magazines, and she raised the money to digitize them. So all of these wonderful little articles that may not be available, they are now available through the Science of Mind magazine. So if you've not been to the Science of Mind archives, I highly suggest you go. Kathy does a wonderful, Kathy and I were classmates, and she does a wonderful job. Hi, are you going to come up? Come up. Dante's in here with me. He may make a cameo for you, but no promises. Okay, so we are in part 2 of Living Without Fear, and the title today, oh, there he is. Hi there, baby. You make a cameo? And he's gone. You got to see half of his face. So the article for today is called The Potentials of Thought. In defining consciousness, we find it impossible to conceive of an unconscious state of being, just as it is impossible for one to conceive of oneself as dead or as not having being. Well, he just starts off. Oh, all right, Ernest. This is going to be a wild ride. I have a sneaking suspicion. Consciousness, then, is not only the starting point of perception, it runs through all perception, and without it, there can be no real perceiver. To really define consciousness seems difficult, yet we all know what the word means, for we are conscious beings and cannot imagine ourselves to be in other than conscious states. The movement of any particular state of awareness is a movement of consciousness. The movement of thought is a movement of consciousness. Prayer, meditation, hope, fear, doubt are all states of consciousness. To the individual, nothing moves unless consciousness is aware of the movement. For if there is a movement without any consciousness to be aware of it, then that movement is without reality so far as we are concerned. There is a movement in the universe. However, we are only partially conscious of many of the movements. These movements and their meanings we but imperfectly understand. The whole history of the human race is a history of the unfolding of consciousness. It is no wonder that many have said that whatever a person can Many have said that whatever a person can become conscious of, they can understand or accomplish. Let us consider what it signifies to really become conscious of anything, for it is more than a mere claim, more than an affirmation. Okay. When a child is told that 2 and 2 make 4, their consciousness begins to work on this problem. They become aware of the fact that 2 and 2 are 4. At first, this fact seems external. They may have 4 blocks laid before them, must be told that 1 block and 1 more block make 2 blocks, and that 2 and 2 make 4. They now understand that 4 is a real number, having an actual significance in their everyday life. As they become really conscious of what 4 means, they no longer need to have 4 blocks laid before them, for they are conscious of 4 without the symbol. They are now inwardly aware. They are now completely conscious of a new idea. It is theirs. They cannot be robbed of this knowledge, for it is a part of them. They become partially conscious of the significance of numbers. If, however, we confront the same child with higher mathematics, we find that they are unable to understand. They have not yet become aware or capable of understanding more advanced knowledge. But it does not follow that they will not become conscious of greater realms of mathematics, for they already have a starting point. Thus, it is with life and action. We all have a starting point. Our mind, our consciousness, and from this point, all must travel. The advance in science, art, literature, and all endeavor is an outward and then an inward swing of consciousness. Okay. Sorry. I was like, every now and again, I have to stop and think about things. Like, I'm going to go away and think about this after I finish reading it, but like that one caught me and I'm like, wait, what? Inward, it's an outward, then an inward swing of consciousness. Okay. All right. When we can become aware of what we become aware of. There we go. What we become aware of, we can master. And since no person can set any limit on to the measure of a person's mind, there can be no limit other than the confines we set ourselves. There can be no limit except, I already know that. That there is a mind in the universe which is without limit seems a true deduction. That we have access to this mind seems the only explanation for our ability to progress. That we must be one with this mind is an inevitable conclusion. Else, how could we perceive anything at all? That inquiry into any truth is some working of this mind through our consciousness is apparent. Hang on. I'm going to read that sentence again. What? That inquiry into any truth is some working of this mind through our consciousness is apparent, and that all progress is the unfolding of this mind through our consciousness is the only explanation for our continual progress. Okay. Every now and again, Ernest has this thing about run-on sentences. Like, he doesn't always believe in punctuation. And that's what made that sentence so unwieldy for me to read. Okay. However, the gist of it is, look, there's one mind. It is unlimited. And because we have access to it, that is why we are able to continue to make progress. All right. Back to Ernest. Okay. I have two beefs with Ernest. He doesn't cite his sources, and he doesn't believe in punctuation. Like, run-on sentences are a real thing with this man. Okay. That this mind is a storehouse of untold possibilities we cannot doubt, and that the greatest possibilities of our future lie in the direction of our conscious unity with infinite intelligence we cannot deny. Okay, the greatest possibilities. Okay, a person sits down to write a play. Their thought conceives of characters and their actions. The play is in their mind, else there is no play. They create the characters from their thoughts and give them the only life they have or ever will have. The play is real to another person only when the author's thought is tangibly projected into the visible world. The other person, however, cannot know the play unless they become conscious of it. And even though they see the play actually perform, the only meaning it has to them is that which their thought gives to it. Okay, we are still mostly unconscious of what the great minds have thought, even though we know what they have said. Our own consciousness must supply the only interpretation we can have. If the thinking is deep and we think deeply, the ideas and meaning take on new color. Our consciousness is striking deeper and deeper. We are more and more aware of the subtle meanings of the great person's mind. We are becoming consciously one with them. I don't know who he thinks this great person is. Okay. Because he's not using the capital letters there. So he may be making an oblique reference to Jesus, but I'm not sure. Okay. That's neither here nor there. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Good. Our consciousness is striking deeper and deeper. We are more and more aware of the subtle meanings of the great person's mind. We are becoming consciously one with them. A unity is being made, and our own consciousness is now an outlet for theirs. So it must be in our relationship with the great mind. Maybe he's still talking about the author of the play. I'm confused. Okay. All right. I'm moving on. I think I'm going to have to go away and I'm going to have to come back and reread this one because what? Reality is forever hidden from our view. We see not life, but that which lives, not energy, but that which energy becomes, not mind, but that which mind does, not the creator, but creation. Whoever saw the power that guides the stars through space or grasped in their hand the energy that balances a spinning top? No person has ever seen God at any time. No person has seen people, the real people, at any time. Ernest, where are you going with this one? We are forever dealing with forces the only evidence of which is the use that we make of them, and we do not think it strange. Why then do we think it strange that there should be power within the person themselves? Is it not a person's mind, the invisible agent that discovers external evidence of power? What if humanity should discover a power within, more subtle, but equally as potent as any of the powers of science which have been harnessed and caused to do their will? Such a power they have discovered, but it cannot be analyzed. It must be accepted. This is why we are told we must live by faith. All right. I think we may be getting a clue here as to where he's going, because he's been kind of wandering around the point a little bit today. Or at least that's my feeling. You may feel differently, but this inner power comes not with a blast of trumpets, nor a glare of lights. It has been truly said that the pen is mightier than the sword, yet the sword has laid low countless hosts, destroyed nations, and established despots in power. But after the sword has been corroded by rust and bent in shame, the words of power, truth, have lived and conquered and destroyed all enemies. The nearer we approach the truth, the more power we have. Why? Because this is the way of truth. What is this power? Our consciousness of the allness of good, our perception that God is supreme. Where do we perceive this? Within our own minds and heart. How much good and how much power can any person perceive? As much as they can believe in and really understand. No person has ever, as yet, plumbed the depths of their own mind, and no person ever will, for here is a deep that which cannot be fathomed, a height which cannot be scaled, a breadth which cannot be spanned. No wonder Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true." The self is a hidden reservoir fed by a stream whose source rises in the infinite. The infinite appears to continuously flow out, and the source and its flow are one. Well, that was an incredible use of that Shakespeare quote. Our life's source is the infinite. The flow through us equals our receptivity to this source. We did not place this power within us, and in the long run, we cannot misplace it. Browning speaks of this as a spark which a person may desecrate, but which they can never quite lose. And Shakespeare, as that divinity which shapes our ends, while Jesus speaks of it as a kingdom of heaven within. There are certain things which we must accept, and one of these is that we all have an inner power. But let not the boastful brag, nor the braggart boast. The source is the infinite, and our inner life is forever wedded to it. The still small voice within proclaims itself only through a consciousness of this unity, and this unity become a power to us only through the good use made of it. Power is silent and deep, calm and undisturbed. Tennyson says that when the outer tempest roars, this inner life has the power to walk on waters. Now, since our inner power arises only through our unity with God, we approach it only in the desire for good, never in willing evil. Since this inner life is one of unity, we cannot approach it while we have a sense of separateness. And since God is really the life of humanity, humanity has real power only in such a degree as they first recognize their unity with God. Oof. That paragraph right there, I think, is the most powerful paragraph in this entire article, and maybe in this entire book, Living Without Fear, in my opinion. Who can say what a person might be able to do if they were really in league with the spirit of truth, really in touch with their true self? The reward, which we might have reason to believe in, is certainly worth the effort, which effort is a peaceful approach to reality. And there should be nothing particular in the process. Simplicity forever accomplishes true greatness, and directness is the shortest distance between 2 points. One point is the human, the other is the divine. There is nothing between except what we put there. We are too apt to approach reality by indirection and thus become confused by the shadows of our own misunderstandings. Again, let our approach be simple and direct. All the statements ever penned by the hand of humanity will avail nothing of our inner sense of reality if our inner sense of reality be lacking. A statement is not the way. It is simply a pointer, a guidepost. No person's prayer can be better than yours. No person's shadow can reach any further than the one you yourself cast. Loose the self and let the wise follow their own wisdom. But see to it that you follow the direct path of your own soul straight to the center of your own life, which is God. And that is it. That is the last sentence. To thine own self be true. But see to it that you follow the direct path of your own soul straight to the center of your own life, which is God. So I found that article somewhat meandering and a little frustrating, I'll be honest with you. But in the end, like, he really did pull it out, because he had that, I mean, this paragraph alone. Now, since our inner power arises only through our unity with God, we approach it only in the desire for good, never willing evil. Since this inner life is one of unity, we cannot approach it while we have a sense of separateness. And since God is really the life of humanity, humanity has real power only in such a degree as they first recognize their unity with God. Okay, that paragraph is the most amazing paragraph ever. Like, I love that paragraph. That is fantastic. And then he ends it by telling us, follow your own soul. Like, nobody's words are better than yours. Nobody's ideas are better than yours when it comes to your own life, your own divinity. The only way you are going to get to heaven is on your own path. Nobody can walk it for you. And it kind of reminds me of that, as he's talking about guideposts. We have this tendency, when there's a finger pointing at the moon, we look at the finger, not at the moon. That's what he's talking about. So we get caught up in all of these wise words from the sages that in the ages, and we forget what they're supposed to be showing us. That's in the end, the goal is to get to God. The goal is to get to the divine. And we get caught up in their words when it's our own words that are going to get us there faster. All right then. And I gotta go. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. This is the last day to check your grocery list day. A cuddle your fur babies day, an enjoy the cooler weather day, a drink plenty of water day, make sure you walk your body some because tomorrow's going to be a day. I don't know where was I about to go with that? Do what you got to do day, take care of business day. Let's wrap this up day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. I will be back on tomorrow. I'm not going to promise if it's going to be 9 or not, because I'm turning my alarm off. And I will get up when I get up. So I will do this tomorrow. And it'll probably be pretty close to 9. But I'm going to take some grace. So I will... Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on twice because I'm planning to read the Emma chapter 4 tomorrow. But I'll do that in the afternoon. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.